report from the parking lot of a Starbucks near my house. We've been, the family has been binge watching the Squid Game, so this is the late night power through at the moment. It's been a good creative week for Wisteria, and we got last week we got up the first actual bit of fiction for Wisteria via Wes, who suggested we start recording a Wisteria podcast, which we call God Save the Queen. That is a podcast that takes place in the world of Wisteria. So it's talking about the game Wisteria in the setting Wisteria, which I thought was a really great idea. And we just did it sort of off the cuff and made up some stuff on the fly. And you can check it out on the site. It's one of the things that we uploaded this past week. And it brought up a couple of, we talked a lot about today, and about how world building works, and what the sort of like the basis of this experiment is, like this sort of fiction experiment, I guess, that we're trying to pull off. So there's a couple of different things that I wanted to sort of like go through. Actually, before I get into that, like, I also want to report that I am a total coward and I haven't done enough about casting. I'm realizing that I'm very skittish about starting that process for real, and I don't know why, because I've been able to go and shoot my other show, and I started that whole process fine, but the producer of that show, Luke Albright, was in charge of the casting, and so I didn't have to do it, and I didn't have to face my fears, and I don't know why I'm having fears about it, but I'm having fears about it, and it's slowing me down, so I have to say it out loud now and get it up online, so it will make me face the facts. I did look into Fiverr, and which might help us out. And also I got some great help from my friend Sean Rourke, who sent a couple of great recommendations. And I haven't actually talked to them. Like I said, I'm a coward. But yeah, it's weird. There's like stuff that, even though this actually fits into, my friend Eric commented in one of the videos, you know, about how we're going to get things done that we really don't know how to do, and who we're going to talk to for advice and stuff like this. I felt like when I was first answering, I was like, well, we have access to everything, right? You know, we have like ways to go about all of this stuff, or people we know that are connected. But the real answer is, the thing that's tough to overcome is fear. Like, and it's weird, simple little social fears or whatever it is. Like, there's all sorts of stuff I'm used to doing, and I can like put stuff up on YouTube, and I can hop up and down and, you know, dance around on a Tron outfit for my friend Ben Hansford's movies, and like all this stuff is easy. Or like directing action scenes and all the other stuff that I've been up to. But like, there's certain things that just get hung up in my brain, and that's the stuff that like, this is part of the reason that we're doing this, is just like, I forgot what the phrase that Wes says is, but it's don't let perfect be the enemy of done, or something along those lines. And definitely perfect is winning the war a little bit this week. And what else was on the list? I did get a lot of, Gareth got more of the actual art done, which is looking totally incredible, absolutely great, and I'm trying to catch up on the coloring for that. We have got another person helping us out with doing the painting for the animations. I got to do a couple more animation, a couple of shots run through, and another six or eight background paintings done. And I'm just going to try and hammer on that for the next week or so to grind those out and get that section taken care of. So we really will need those voice actors soon. But anyway, we had a long talk today about world building, because it came off of the doing the fake podcast, not fake podcast, but the podcast, the Wisteria podcast, which is like, there are things that came up in that off the cuff that are now just part of the legitimate fiction of Wisteria. And like the sinking of the bellwether is mentioned, and when I said it, I didn't know what it was, but now it's a thing that we have to sort of, that we've planted a stake in the ground on. And I said to Wes that my feeling and theory about this stuff is, like, the best world building movies, you know, stuff like Blade Runner, for instance, like, they don't tell you everything, you know, they don't, they're like, Blade Runner opens up with like a bunch of text, but it really doesn't tell you that much detail. It gives a little bit of the setting, but all the really mysterious stuff in Blade Runner remains mysterious in Blade Runner. And instead of like having long, sort of tracts of exposition to, tell you every detail about whatever, it just gives you these little sort of nuggets, these little sort of breadcrumbs to pick up along the way. And they don't have answers, and they don't necessarily have stitching between them that's explicit. And what happens then is that it leans on the audience to make that stuff up, and they participate in the creation of the thing. Like they see these two facts, Roy Batty and the attack ships on fire off the shoulder of Orion, or whatever it is, and it creates an image in their mind, and it creates a story, like a vague story, but a story that's happening only for them. And it's different for every single person. Like they're neighboring stories. They feel the same, but everyone's imagination is different. And that's the glue that's bringing it all together, is what you in the audience are creating for the movie. You're creating the movie is just sort of like a soup starter. It's a packet of oatmeal before you add the water and the fruit and all the stuff. And you're the one who makes it real. And the extent to which that is done is extraordinary, because if you look at like the Star Trek, wiki pages, or the Star Wars wiki pages for that matter, like people go to almost any degree to explain flaws, why did Chekhov know about Khan when Chekhov was not on the show at that point? Like when the Khan episode happened, Space Seed happened, like Chekhov was not, I don't think he was a part of the show, or he definitely wasn't part of that episode. And so instead of saying like, oh, they fucked it up, the continuity is all messed up, people have made lengthy backstory choices to fill this stuff in, and it's insanely creative. And so that happens for the audience, but the way that I think about art itself, right, is that me, Wes, and Gareth, we are all as much audience members as the people who watch this on YouTube, outside of us. Like we are there to see it happen. We're there to also to create it, and so like we lay down the legitimate real canon stuff, but it's just like, we're making this stuff up off the fly, on the fly, and so like I don't know what is coming next. We have a loose story that we played out in a game, and so we know we have ideas, but it's all up in the air, and that's the excitement of it. And so just throwing stuff out there and throwing stuff up, that becomes the part of the story now, whether it's Lord Cumberton or the wreck of the Bellwether. Like these things will be used and connected in other stuff, and I don't know how that will happen yet, but it will become real. And I think as you see what we have in mind for the story, that's part of how I think about Wisteria itself. And so that'll come clear later, I guess, the more examples we have. But in any case, like I would, we love anything you have to say about that. And like how the relationship of the art to the artist is an interesting one. That's an interesting subject to me. I know people argue about it in terms of like, if the artist is a bad person or that kind of jazz, but just like where does the art come from? Like, where is the experience of art? Right? And to me, the experience of art is always in you, whoever the you is, whether it's you who is watching this video, or it's me who is later watching this video. Hello, Dan. Like, it is always the receiver. It's stirring up something in them, and like it's emotions that they have, and that's what the realness of it is. Fuck the artist, and I say that when I'm an audience member, and I say it when I'm the artist. So, the art, like run with the stuff and be inspired by the stuff, and be excited about how things may or may not connect. And if you do that as an audience member, you're gonna have a great time. And if you do that as a creator, you're gonna have a great time. And that's what I think we're like really up to here. This also led, and this is the last thing on the list. This also led to an interesting conversation that I initially was like, no, I don't think we should do that. But I'm thinking all day about it, and I'm still not sure. I'm still not decided. So it's time to talk about it. And I haven't even re-talked about this with the guys, but I talked to it specifically with Wes about it today. It was like, Wes is like, are we going to put up the animatic, like the full animatic, before we even make the thing? And initially I was like, no, I think we should only put it up in parts, and like that's more dramatically satisfying for people and the audience experience. And then I was like, after I got off the phone, I was like, I don't know, is that the right call? I'm not sure if that's the right call. Like, if we say we're being open, maybe we should be totally open about this. So, what have we said? I don't know. Anyway, like, I suppose I'd like your thoughts and input on that. Like, do you think that's, like, you guys, if you don't want to watch it, you don't have to watch it, right? So it's your choice. Like, it's interesting to see the thing. I don't know, I'm gonna have to talk to the guys again about that, but I just want to say it out loud, that that's one of the things to chew on. We may or may not do that, and maybe it's the right thing to do, maybe it's not the right thing to do, but it's something that we're chewing on, so I wanted to report on it to you guys. That's the state of Wisteria as it sits in the middle of Squid Game, which is a great show, and we're very much enjoying that. Also this week I got a shitload of editing done on the other project. I'm really excited for you guys to check that out as well, as far as my channel goes. And maybe I'll show clips of that during the making of this, because I'm excited to show it to the other guys, just to show that I think we're capable of some real interesting quality. I think we have the chops, and we're gonna do it right. Anyway, I hope everyone's doing well this week. I'm gonna go get some more coffee. I hope everyone's enjoying their own creative time, and let us know what you think about the Wisteria podcast and everything that's coming up. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.